Wait, I thought we were just talking about characters.
We bled a little bit there.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That was storylines.
Oh, okay.
When we talked about backstory, you went on a bit of a tangent with the characters.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was still about the story. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't. But anyways. So, Zoro, huh? Sanji, huh? Nami, huh?
Zoro was
Usopp,
a
huh?
shit character. I'm kidding.
I can keep at this, but it's gonna get annoying once I start listing off.
Don't give it up, Zoro.
No.
Yes.
No.
Waifu wars. Waifu wars. Waifu wars. Let's start with Vorn.
Same again, like always.
Zoro boy. Mosshead. Mosshead. NikNak.
I think last time I said the C, this time I'm gonna go Zoro. Zoro was
Best boy.
that background story episode really sold him as a character for me.
Yeah, it was like genuinely distressing. What about you, Realm?
Mine is still remains the same, but I didn't list mine because he hadn't appeared yet. But now he's here, Sanji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
all
like a
stand
woman
Sanji.
who can cook.
You don't like it. You need it.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't attack me like this.
I can now move my waifu to Mihawk.
He's technically appeared.
Mihawk, best boy. I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be favorite character hopping as characters are introduced till I finally get to like a genuine favorite character. But I will say Mihawk is, real big for me, especially when because I cannot separate myself from what my favorite characters are considering the whole show. Because for me, I've read it too many times. I've seen it too many times. I have
we could tell
that I'm deeply...
whenever the show came up this time, you're like, did you like Mihawk? Did you like Mihawk?
Yeah.
Sehkie, we've seen 5 minutes of him. Did you like Mihawk? He's so good later on. We've seen 5 minutes collectively of him.
So, speaking of Mihawk,
You know more than we do in 5 minutes, so don't go any further.
That's true. I do. I really like Mihawk. I think it's really cool that already we're seeing a character who is like the greatest swordsman in the world, and that's what he is. Also, his blade, the Yoru, my heart.
Sehkie likes big swords.
I do. Anyways, but I mean, in terms of characters, I mean, we get development for Zoro. Obviously we get development for Sanji because we're meeting Sanji.
Yeah.
We don't really get a whole lot for Usopp. We get like a no sub
Usopp
for
was barely a presence in this arc, I don't think.
But we have Johnny and Yosaku.
Were those Zoro's friends that were kind of in his backstory, like as complainers on the side? And then
the idiots.
I like them.
Yeah, Johnny and Yosaku.
I actually really like the little touch of scurvy. Like, glad to know that they keep that and take that into account.
Yeah, that like scurvy is a thing, and like they will get it because they're idiots.
Wait, there was one thing for Usopp. He was a painter, and that's all we got.
That's right. He painted the sail in the filler episode.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. Good for him. Now we have the Jolly Roger, which I coincidentally have hanging on my wall. Silence cue as we all turn to look at it.
Hey, it looks like a dead Luffy.
I think I've been saving this long enough. I hate Luffy. I really, really despise Luffy as a main character. My God. Saying no to responsibility for blowing a hole in a kitchen's wall is not an endearing character trait, and it's not one Luffy particularly gets punished for.
Well, he is a pirate, so I mean,
yes, but it feels like at times Luffy not only like there are boring characters. Like we've seen plenty of anime in our time with Shiro, characters who are boring as all hell in the story they're in. But they tend to be a non-presence, whereas Luffy actively detracts from the tone of the show for the rest of it.
And I don't feel the same way. I mean, I've got to admit. And maybe that's because I'm considering more of Luffy than what you've seen. But like, I also feel like he's had a few moments so far. I think a big one was when Mihawk and Zoro were fighting. I think that was a big moment for him as a captain and as someone who's kind of like becoming slightly less naive or realizing what needs to happen. But I think at this point he's also very naive. Like he's just left Syrup Village, or not Syrup Village. Fuck.
I mean, that is true at
Yeah,
this point.
he's just left. I mean, he's not very smart. Like normally it's like a joke that like shonen protagonists are dumb. But like Luffy is genuinely has like 2 brain cells to rub together.
And I think that's my problem is I don't like the generic shonen protagonist. Like,
and there's a difference between like, for example, Ichigo, who is actually a smart person, but he has 2 brain cells to rub together in most of Bleach, and then Luffy, who is actually 2 brain cells rubbing together.
but in the end, it comes off as an exaggeration of the trope, not necessarily a deconstruction of it or anything like that.
Yeah, which I mean, it's fair, and it's hard for me to say anything about because obviously we've only seen 30 episodes, right? And this is a lot of show for Luffy to not have any real development yet, which is fair. I can't argue your point that you don't like Luffy. I can't say anything about that at the moment because if you don't like him so far, you're not going to like him until he gets development, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a bit of this is also that One Piece is so long and that you're having to deal with so much of dumb Luffy before any sort of development happens. And at the moment, Luffy doesn't really have a whole lot of backstory to him. We have like one incident that happened when he was a kid, and that's pretty much it. And that one incident does not excuse anything that's happening right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And it's not like Luffy at this point, he's older, right? Like you saw a bit of that dumb fuck kid like attitude in Sanji's backstory with the Sanji kid version.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it still persists into Sanji adult to an extent.
Yeah.
But also it doesn't outwardly like it's clear he's matured, whereas Luffy is a kid to Luffy as I think a young adult to a teenager does not appear to have matured at all, and it's treated as an endearing character trait. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, and I can see that. And I think I'd say I want to check the ages real quick of some of the characters. So give me a second. Okay. Just search. I'm just gonna look up Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy to see their ages real quick. Pre-time skip.
I'm pretty sure Luffy's younger than Sanji, but
Oh yeah.
and for sure Zoro.
You say that, but you never know in anime. All right, okay. So right now, Luffy is 17, and Zoro and Sanji are both 19. So I mean, there is an age difference, but it's not that big. I guess an attribute could also be, you know, there is a difference between Sanji and Zoro and Luffy. Is that so? Zoro's been a bounty hunter for like years. He's already gone through trouble when he grew up. And Zoro's been traveling around, like he's seen shit. He's a bounty hunter. And then Sanji has also seen a lot of shit, and he travels. He's on a floating ship, floating restaurant that's visited by a lot of people. So the 2 of them, we can assume, have had quite a bit of contact with some people from the Grand Line and people from off the Grand Line, and they've talked to a lot of different people and experienced a lot of things where Luffy hasn't. He's been on an island all his life, and as far as we know right now, his backstory isn't really that tragic. Sorry, spoiler, that was a bad way to phrase that. And like I said, he is very naive. This is his first time off the island, you know, and he's kind of going off this like idealized, you know, pirate king, like I'm just gonna get a ship and be free. And he is really naive, and he's not getting de-naived very fast.
No, like I think Luffy's, I mean, look, he's just a simple character, and that's it. Like, he's a kid who fundamentally misunderstands what a pirate is.
I don't think he does though, because there are a lot of other characters in the series with the same opinion as him, like outwardly. So I think because in a lot of ways being a pirate is just a response to the controlling nature of the world government. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a shit person who rapes, pillages, and plunders.
Okay, but I know that to an extent, but that's also something much more like
once again, it's
later in the series.
This is why I would never recommend that someone like go into this show lightly with an idea that they can watch, you know, 10 or 12 episodes and think they have a good grasp on what's happening. Like, this is a series that you do need to sink a significant amount of time to start understanding. Like there's a lot of development and building before everything starts coming together.
And I could argue with that on that, but for people who want to actually see that, go watch our Does Size Matter Talk No Jutsu plugging, and go watch it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And I want to argue with you, and I'm kind of arguing with you, but I also understand your point of view. Like, I'm not saying it's invalid, because it is completely valid at this point. And I may never get you guys to a point that I think is an adequate. You know, we may not get there in this season. Like, it depends how many times I can submit this, you know, if I want to watch other shows, but we'll see. We'll see. I think for now, that's all I can really say.
Okay, next episode.
Try harder, everyone.